Hey everybody, it's Trevor here. Just wanted to share with you my InStyle of art projects. So we were told originally to basically look up a face, whether it was on the internet or a picture that we had ourselves. And to first off, we were gonna like grid it off and then basically recreate that original photo into the different styles of art, as you can see here, based off of the artists and the certain styles that they were using. So for starters, I wanted to essentially, for me, just kind of think a little bit outside the box. I didn't want to just look up something on the internet. I actually went into an old magazine that I had, and you can see where I cut. This was just all like different graphics that they had, but her face itself, I gridded off, cut it out, and I glued it here. So then my first one was gridding the picture itself. So I sectioned it off just like you can see on each, and then each section you can see the detail that was basically taken from here onto gridding itself. Hair, eyes, the eyebrows, the texture in here, the skin color I used was shading itself. So I would kind of like sketch a little bit into like her facial expressions, and then like shade in there, her lips, her teeth, her tongue, and then it just goes down towards her neck. So I try to give that texture with her hair. This on the outside was, just like where it had cut off. So my first one that I went into to recreate was Picasso's Cubist style. We could either choose a warm or cool color. So what I did was, from an old project, I'd have to look back at it, but essentially we had created different things where we had to use essentially like the different values in color. You can see how I chose, of course, cool. But what I did when I created that was, you can already see kind of the shapes, the texture that this, already had. So what I did was try to recreate, of course, using the examples that were posted in Canvas to the best of my ability, to recreate Picasso's Cubist style. You can see the shapes, you can see like the certain forms, but it brings out, clearly her face, but then also it's utilizing the cool colors and cubism. Over here, this one was very interesting, but probably more of the harder ones for me. It was Chuck Close's. It was like the all-over color scheme, but utilizing value. So essentially, if you look close, you can see the eyes, and that's what I really tried to focus on. So it still kind of gave that like persona and a perspective that that's her face. And then what I started off with was the top portion of her head and hair with the different lighter colors. And then I worked my way down, utilizing just any color that I could, but utilizing value. So like I started off with yellow, and then I went to like, yellow and orange with like a hint of red. And then from here, I went into like red and violet. So basically I was trying to create things and colors with our color wheel that we created a few weeks back as well. So I used that as kind of like a foundation of like how to kind of use my color schemes. And then since that was kind of more of a darker color, you can see more purple in there, but as you can still see, there's red. So I went, purple here, and then working my way. So it kind of goes from like warm colors, cool colors, and then back up to like the original where I had started. You can see the certain areas too, like where there's the still eyebrows, the eyes, her nose structure, and then her lips are just embedded in here. But just trying to like incorporate it. It was challenging, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. The other one I did was Van Gogh's complementary color scheme. So this one was actually interesting. What I chose to do, again, was utilize my color wheel and all the complementary colors of themselves. So for instance, as you can see, like if there was, let's just say, for instance, you can see the green, right? So there's green, and then there's also red. If there's yellow, there was brown. If there's purple, there's red. There's just a bunch. I wish I had the color wheel with me, but I essentially tried to recreate this with complementary colors that Van Gogh was trying to emphasize. And actually, this one was one of my favorites. One of my favorites for sure. I tried to incorporate, I would use my acrylic paints too. I would utilize some of my paint brushes to kind of get a background, the foundation of it. But then you can see like where I color coordinated certain colors that were complementary of each other, the nostrils, the eyes, eyebrows, and I enjoyed that one. The last one I did was the Mondrian primary color scheme. Hopefully I said that right. and essentially this one was definitely my favorite. I looked up just the basic color scheme online, and I wanted to go with red, yellow, and blue. The other spaces that I left alone, I just colored white. But I recreated, her eyes, eyebrows, and then, the nostrils. This was emphasizing her mouth. But I really liked it, I just kind of did my own design to it, but I would connect certain lines to each other, giving it more of that primary Mondrian, if I'm saying that right, color scheme. So definitely my favorite. Really liked this project. I hope you guys did too. And that was my InStyle of project. I'll give you guys kind of one more look. Basis over here, and then my grid, and worked all my way to the very end. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching.